All right, out working on the Honda CL70 tonight. We're going to try to get the exhaust installed tonight, but unfortunately we ran into a little snag. So I'm going to make a video on that, show you guys what we found and what we're going to do to remedy that. The original muffler, just like the rest of the bike, this thing had a lot of surface rust on it from sitting all those years in the barn. And my daughter actually cleaned this up. Came out really nice, especially with the amount of surface rust that was on there. You can see what's left behind. It's got the natural patina, but that's the look we're going for with this bike. So that's not an issue at all. But on the back side here, got a little more rust here. We'll probably touch up a little bit. But anyway, the real issue is I had a spot that I was a little concerned about when we first got the bike and I was going over it. You can see we got a hole there now. Unfortunately, I didn't get that on video, but the hole wasn't there, but there was like a bump there, and I could tell that it was starting to rust out there. I was thinking about leaving it, but I knew better. I was just fooling myself that it was all right. So I started picking at it, and that's the hole we ended up with. The rest of it's actually really solid. I just think that's where most of the moisture settled down when it was sitting all those years and eventually worked its way through. But I'm going to clean this up. I got a plan for that. I got to get some stuff together, and then we'll start working on that. I have a little spot there that's starting to poke through too. That's not all the way through. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but we're going to fix that up at the same time. This is just surface rust. We'll probably clean that up a little bit better. But anyway, I'm going to get set up, get the things we need, and we're going to get this fixed up. Alright, so I got this guy all cleaned up now. You can see I grinded out all the loose rust, the flake and rust, and what's left is, this camera will focus, it's nice and solid now. So I got a lip here to work with. That's kind of set in. There's about 1/8 of an inch depth from the outside of this muffler to that flat spot. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. So next, took a piece of paper and used it as a template. And just cut it down to size. That's going to fit inside there. Once I had the template, took a piece of metal and basically duplicated it. So I did go through and I cleaned this with the wire wheel on the Dremel a bit. Took some denatured alcohol with a nylon brush and cleaned it up. But I think I'm going to hit it one more time, try to get a little more of that surface rust off of there. It's pretty clean, believe it or not, but we'll hit it one more time, and then we'll start the process to repair that. So we got this sanded down with some 100 grit. Then we used our file a little bit to clean up the lines and kind of get underneath the bracket a little bit. Then we hit it with a little bit of 120. So now we're ready for the final coat. We got a little bit of a low spot there. And definitely a low spot there. And we'll put a little thin coat on that there. So anyhow, we're going to do another coat. And then we'll do a final cleanup. And hopefully that's it. We'll do a little bit of touch-up paint. And we should be good to go. Alright, so I got the final coat all sanded down. Nice and solid. Good repair. I'm thinking that thing will last a couple years. Especially the fact it's a vintage bike. It's not going to be driven every day, obviously. It's going to be more of a toy, whether it's for me or somebody else. So definitely happy with the outcome on that. I cleaned a little more of the surface rust off here. Probably hit it a little bit better yet. But anyway, my final step for that is I'm going to take some of this chrome silver paint. Used this before. I think I got it on Amazon. It's not a high heat paint. You know, we're putting on a muffler, but I'm not overly concerned with it. Once it heats up, it'll bake on there and it'll last a while. So we're going to take some of this, take our brush, and we're just going to kind of dab that a little bit and see if we can't make it look a little bit better. Then we're going to do a little bit more cleanup on the chrome here, and we're going to call it a wrap for the muffler. Alright, so there's the final look at the repair after a couple coats of that silver chrome. Looks pretty decent. Again, we weren't looking for it to look like a brand new muffler or anything, but main goal was to get that hole fixed up and make it look halfway decent. Considering it had a big old hole in it, that's not too bad. Once we get it back on the bike and everything else is on, you're hardly going to notice it. Like I said, we're going to clean this up a little bit more. But other than that, we should be good to go for a while. I'm going to end the video there. Hopefully it helps somebody if you have a similar hole. You know, these mufflers, you know, they rot differently on every kind of bike. Sometimes they rot all the way along here, and you know, so not every repair is the same. But I've used this before on my ATVs, and it, like I said, it holds up pretty good. So that's a wrap. Hope it helped somebody.